Welcome to the Spotlight Sports Talk. My name is Coach D, and these are my 5 quarterbacks that you should start in your lineup in Week 5. The first quarterback that I would like to start is Ben Roethlisberger versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. I really like this matchup because the Jacksonville Jaguars really don't impress me when it comes to their defense. Yes, they put up a lot of points. Yes, they do what they do very well with their corners in their line. But I feel like they can't, get in touch. They really can't get with Antonio Brown and Martavius Bryant, especially, Juju is actually getting involved in the wide receiver core. But the Jacksonville Jaguars have allowed the fewest fantasy points to quarterbacks. So why is Ben Roethlisberger the start? I really feel like that he will do very well against them. He has averaged, which is Big Ben. Big Ben has averaged 24 fantasy points per game in the last 21 starts at Heinz Field. I like him at home, and that should be your first pick to start if you have him on your team. The next quarterback that should be on your list is Dak Prescott versus the Green Bay Packers. I did like what Dak Prescott did versus the Los Angeles Rams last week. I thought he put them in position to win the game. And I really think he's going up against a weaker defense in the Green Bay Packers. And the Packers have been tough on quarterbacks thus far. But honestly, I still like Prescott due to the potential of his game. I really do like, he can scramble, he can move with his feet, and he can put points on the board, especially give the ball to Ezekiel Elliott in the passing game. But Green Bay did allow the most fantasy points per game to quarterbacks on the road with 20.7 points a game. So 20.7 points a game a year ago. I feel like Prescott can beat them at least for 3 touchdowns. I see that with him. So if you got him on your lineup, please start Dak Prescott. And the next quarterback that you should start is Jameis Winston versus the New England Patriots. It's not really too much to say here. I really did like what Cam Newton did last week versus the New England Patriots in New England. This is a Thursday night play, so if you do have him on your team, start him for Thursday night versus the New England Patriots. To say that the Patriots have a bad defense is a very understatement. I really think they are a bad defense. They can't get it done on that side of the football. They have surrendered the most total yards to all the teams that they played in the last 4 weeks to 456.8 yards a game. The most passing yards with 324 yards a game, and the second most points with 32 points a game after 4 weeks. New England is giving up so many points, and I feel like Jameis Winston with his firepower with Deshaun Jackson, Mike Evans, O.J. Howard, and Cameron Brate, especially with Doug Martins coming back, I really do like this matchup for Jameis Winston. The next quarterback that should be on your list that you should start this week is Deshaun Watson versus the Kansas City Chiefs. I did have Deshaun Watson as a stardom last week versus the Titans, and he did very well for me. He did very outstanding in a lot of people's lineups this past week. He had 30-plus fantasy points this week in the blowout over the Titans, and I'll keep him in your starting lineup against the Chiefs. They have surrendered 20-plus fantasy points to quarterbacks twice in their first 4 games, but I really do like Watson in this lineup. I really do like Watson versus this matchup, knowing that Eric Berry is not back there helping Peters and the other corner on the other side. And he can move with his feet too, so if they try to give a pass rush, he can rush the football as well. But I do like Deshaun Watson this week in the lineup, so if you do have him on your roster, start Deshaun Watson. And the final quarterback that we should have on your list is Carson Wentz versus the Arizona Cardinals. Wentz has had 2 mediocre starts in a row, and I expect him to have a bounce-back game against the Cardinals. The defense has allowed a lot of points to the quarterbacks. To the quarterbacks. Matthew Stafford and Dak Prescott scored 22-plus fantasy points against this Cardinal defense. I can see Carson Wentz going off with his wide receivers with Zach Ertz and Alshon Jeffrey, with Torrey Smith and all those other receivers that he have over there in Philadelphia. There were 2 quarterbacks that only failed to produce, and that was Brissett and Hoyer. But why not start Carson Wentz? I mean, I think he had his first 2 weeks was great, and I really do like him against the Cardinals. Here are some other sleeper quarterbacks that you should have in your lineup this week. You should have Alex Smith versus the Houston Texans. Then you have Brian Hoyer versus the Indianapolis Colts. And then you have Eli Manning versus the Chargers. And then you have Carson Palmer versus the Philadelphia Eagles. Well, there you have it. And this is my top 5 quarterbacks that you should have in your week 5 from the Spotlight Sports Talk. My name is Coach D. If you want any more information with our show and like our picks, please subscribe and comment your opinions in the comments below. My name is Coach D from the Spotlight Sports Talk, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.